My name is Abby Jackson, and I'm the director of the St. Luke Teen Center. I started in 2007, and the program started in 2007 as well. So St. Luke has always dedicated some of their space to outreach. And so back in the 70s, I know they had dances for teens, and there was a senior center. And so that space was now open, and so they were having conversations with their neighbors. So Burke High School was one of them, and two things were found out. One was that students who lived in North and South Omaha, by the time they were busing back to their neighborhoods, they weren't seeking out after-school programming. And then secondly, the I-680 corridor, 108th and 4, that area is not eligible for busing. And so there was kids who were sitting on the front steps of Burke or wandering the neighborhoods that were waiting for a ride and didn't have anything to do. So we started a program, an after-school program, and the first few years were fairly bare bones minimum, doing a needs assessment, and 12 years later, we're a full functioning program. The St. Luke Teen Center is a collaborative effort between Burke High School, St. Luke United Methodist Church, and Nebraska Methodist College. And so one of the things I love about our program is that we're a collaborative effort between a private university, a public high school, and a church. Burke High School offers assistance through providing teachers to come to the Teen Center after school to provide academic assistance and mentoring. And they also provide the late bus, so our students who do receive busing are able to get home at the end of the night. Nebraska Methodist College has a TRIO grant, which is a federally funded umbrella program, but they have a specific upward bound grant. And so they collaborate with us to serve low-income first-generation college students, and their focus is specific to post-secondary prep. And then St. Luke underwrites a space and staff and a lot of other great things. We consider ourselves a full-service, holistic program. Our goal is to offer anything a student can get elsewhere, specifically maybe like a negative influence, so competing with the streets or competing with something that is enticing to them. So if they are hungry, we provide food. If they are looking for monetary supplement, our Upward Bound program offers a stipend. So if you join that program, you get paid $40 a month for meeting the requirements. If you're looking for mentorship, we have that. We have tons of academic assistance, post-secondary, so if they're looking to go to college, we have everything from ACT prep to college visits to financial literacy to helping them with their FAFSA. So we really try to provide anything and everything they need, down to like family support services. So like we have a holiday assistance program where we can help with gifts for their families. We have an emergency fund that kind of helps, if students ride the bus to school, they can get bus cards, or their parents drive them. Sometimes we can supplement with gas cards. But one of our foundational elements is the mentoring. So a high number of our students, it usually ranges, like 98% of our students say that they have a mentor at the Teen Center or an adult that they can go to in crisis. And so we really try to build that relationship and then figure out what each student needs and fill in those cracks. The folks on the staff are really passionate about a few things. And one is the potential of youth and the potential of all youth. So a lot of our students are deemed at risk in some fashion. So it might be first generation college, it might be low income, it might be academic risks, it might be the neighborhood they come from, it might be they're in foster care, they're in the court systems. And so our why is we believe that they have a deep, deep level of potential. We believe that they are extremely gifted, and so sometimes that is where we come in and guide. We believe that they have all the skills that they need, but we just need to kind of shape and mold and guide them. And then sometimes when they forget, remind them. And so we believe that as many people that can walk alongside our young people, the better they will be. A success story from the Teen Center is a young lady who was amongst the first group who attended the Teen Center. And that group, we didn't have really a lot of hardcore programming, so a lot of it was really relationship based and she had a really difficult, dysfunctional home life, and there was a lot of abuse in the family. And so she would often come in on Monday mornings, and we'd kind of debrief from the weekends, and it was tough situations, but she knew from a young age that she wanted to be a doctor and that she wanted to go to college. And I remember the moments she got into ASU, Arizona State University, as well as local universities, and she was kind of trying to decide if she wanted to leave or stay, and she ended up leaving and went to Arizona State, pre-med, graduated 4 years, and she enrolled in med school at UNMC, and now is in a MD PhD program. And so first generation college, low income, is going to be a doctor and a doctor. So that's pretty cool. So I often say that my world is the teen center and the teen center is my world. And so specifically, like, I really love to get to know the families and get to know the students. And so with that, we're able to kind of dig a little deeper. So if a student, for an example, a student was not getting to school on time because they weren't making their bus stop. So we dug a little deeper, and the student was not getting good enough sleep because they didn't have a bed. And so we were able to provide a bed for that student. When the bed was delivered, the mom took the bed and for herself. And so the student was distraught because her bed was taken. And so we returned with another bed for the student, and we're able to provide beds for the whole family. So my thought is everybody deserves a bed. So mom deserved a bed, the student deserved a bed, everybody deserves to have sleep and have basic necessities. So with the relationships we've built, we're able to kind of dig a little deeper and find out like kind of some the deeper needs of the family. We, go to birthday parties and we go to weddings, and we really try to be a part of their lives. Many of them of our alumni return on a weekly basis, sometimes to receive assistance or help, but sometimes to just say hello and get a hug. Many of our alumni have created a base within themselves, that they have created a really tight-knit community to support each other as well, which I think is a really important piece. And they often come back and volunteer and give back. And sometimes if there's a student going through something that an alumni did as well, sometimes we'll connect them as a mentor relationship, and the alumni can come back and kind of share with the student their path. And it's not always going to be the same, but to say, I've been there, I did that, and I made it, is an important lesson, and especially somebody who is not far removed from their shoes. So one of the things that I say about St. Luke and their involvement in the Teen Center is that there are hundreds of people that deeply care about our kids. And so we have St. Luke folks who come down and serve food on a daily basis. We have St. Luke volunteers who sit on our board, who help us plan our annual fundraising event. We have St. Luke folks who teach cooking classes, who mentor, who tutor. I have yet asked St. Luke for something that they have not met. So if it's a ride to a job shadow, if it's a dresser or bed for a family, St. Luke has hundreds of people who deeply care about what happens to our young people and their families. I think the teens are always so impressed that somebody cares that much to invest in a program like this, which in turn means they're investing in them. And so I often hear like, wow, that is so cool that this church is doing this for us. Or that, wow, the food volunteer cooked us homemade brownies. Or, we had a volunteer who made all the students homemade hats. And so I think they're just really feel really blessed that there's a lot of people who continue to invest in them. And so I think they do, and they often say thank you.